Yuck. Hey Tracy, Mama Bear. And I got access to this song not too long ago. And I'm trying to figure out if I like it. Hi Sandra. Hi Dina. Francis. Lori, glad you made it. So I got this song. I have access to it. It's legal for me to play it. We're not going to get blocked or anything. I pay for it. It's a monthly subscription. It's not real cheap, but I mean, I like the music. I just don't know if it's creepy. I don't know. If it's too loud, let me know. Hey Margie, hey Dahlia. G'day Kate, g'day. So I wanted to tell a story. Do you guys have you had any kind of some kind of moment in your life that kind of has an impact on you, good or bad? It could be something tragic, I suppose. Okay. Time to tone it down a little bit. There. So I guess what I was trying to get at is there something in your life that affects you, or something that you remember about, I don't know, every year or constantly throughout life? And it could be a tragic event. It could be a happy moment or something. But something that either you can't shake or you don't want to shake, maybe. Something that is just there. I guess a memory, a memory of something that happened. And what I was going to say, I've been struggling with something every year for 20, holy crap. Holy crap. The better part of 32 or 33 years. Holy wow. And it happens every holiday season. Because I had an event happen to me. It was in shoot, I can't remember the exact date. It was before Thanksgiving. No, it was right at Thanksgiving. So I was there before, so just before Thanksgiving. And this is when I lived in Puerto Rico. It was a friend of the family, that neighbor of the cousins. So we'd go visit the cousins, and then that friend would come over with her little girl. She was 4. I want to say she was 4. I thought maybe 5. Never met her before. ever, right? And the first time I did, so first time around, I got married in Puerto Rico. Met in Chicago, that's where I lived, and then she was from over there. Her family was over there, so I was like, it's easier to just have me and my people go over there than to have all your people come over here to Chicago. So he was like, yeah, let's go, and I agreed to it. We got married in Puerto Rico, so I was close with everyone, and we'd visit a cousin, and there was a neighbor who had a little girl, and she would come over. And the first time ever, that she came over when we were there, the mom came over with the little girl. That little girl took to me like I was her father or something. And she was attached. Like, I don't know, maybe we met in a different life or something. Everyone, including her mom and all the other relatives, were like, what the heck is going on? What is this? What's happening? And it was weird. It was the strangest thing. But there was like this attachment. I mean, both ways, right? But I was more surprised than anything. And then she started saying, the papi word. Like, oh my God. So then they started like, are you sure you haven't been to Puerto Rico before? I was like, yeah, whatever, DNA test. It was kind of a joke. It started to become a joke. But, whoa, they get attached. Nasty attached. And before that, I hadn't thought about kids at all, ever. I was just a young dude, not even thinking about kids. Nothing about them, right? And so because I enjoyed the interaction, I started going over there. I kept suggesting, well, let's go visit your cousin again. And we go there, and not just see your cousin, but I was hoping that the neighbor would come with the little daughter, with the little girl. And sure enough, they would see us pull up, and they would come over because the little girl wanted to come over. So ouch. Okay, so we get close. Change songs now. I don't know how I feel about that song yet. I kind of like it. It just feels a little creepy. So okay, so we're visiting all the time, and she's attached to me. I mean, attached. Doesn't want to, she jumps on me, gets on my lap. Doesn't want to let go. Wants to stay there the whole time. Like, it was a little weird, but it just grew on me. Like, wow, is this what it's like to have a daughter? It's so cool. So that marriage eventually split up. Didn't last, and I moved back to Chicago. But I decided to go back and visit because I was still close with all the family. They always said, "You got a home here in Puerto Rico, no matter what. Anytime you come, no matter what." So I go. I think it was 1991, 90 or 91. 92, 21 or 92 maybe, before Thanksgiving. So I went. I planned to spend a holiday there, and I'm like, all right, it's now time to go visit, to have this little girl come over. And I get there, and sure enough, could see in the window, and then she sees me pulling up a parking, runs out of the house, coming towards me, and they were telling her, wait, 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 stop. Well, he doesn't. And she runs out into the street, and this speeding car coming by. Just like that. Gone. And, at the time, well, for a long time, at least for another, I don't know, 6 years or something, that was like the closest thing I ever had to a kid. And then from that point on, it's like I want a daughter, and I wanted to have a kid. I wanted to have a daughter. So that happened, right before Thanksgiving, and I realized in the last few years, that many years, and I don't know, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just what is it called, that those people that get depressed during the holidays, they get depressed like just during holidays. I forget what it's called. I forget what there's a term for it. You know what? This music is too depressing. Let me move it a little bit. So yeah, that's what I thought it was. Well, I know people are seasonal. There you go. Thank you. Seasonal depression, the holidays, and they go, oh, I like the holidays, I like the music and the gifts to give and stuff, but I always found myself wanting to be alone, leave me upstairs with my music. I'll come down later, or I'll be there later. I'll just eat and then go back up and hide. And then I found out myself that that's what was getting me. It's like every time, like clockwork, like mid-November and to just before Christmas time, I'm just a freaking zombie. And and some unfortunately would say, oh, you got to snap out of it. You need to snap out of it. You can't be like this. You can't be like this. I'm like, it's like I'm not trying to do this on purpose. It just, I don't know what it was at first. And then, over the years, it became obvious that this is somebody. I was talking to my friend, and he knew what happened. He was my best friend. He was there for the wedding. And he's like, well, that's why. I said, when did she go? When did it happen? And I told him, like, dude, he was like, bro, do the math. That's why. This is weird. Looks like I got a line here, doesn't it? I just noticed it. Time to shave it off. Anyway. So yeah, and that's when it's like, holy crap, you're right. That's what it is. It has to be. And I try not to think about it. And I'm thinking sometimes, it'll, it's not going to, every year should be less and less, right? It'll be less and less, but nope. And it comes and it hits me like a ton of bricks and puts me out for a while or for the day or whatever. But I just started thinking how, it's never got me to the point where like I wanted to kill myself or anything, or depression, or I didn't think it was. If it was depression, it was just like temporary, it lasts for, I don't know, about 30 days, just before Thanksgiving and right before Christmas. And after that, it was okay. Everything was like back to normal. And I just wondering how, I was thinking about it today, and imagine how crappy it feels for somebody who's just depressed for whatever the reason is. I mean, you have no idea, what's in somebody's head. And I'm not saying you have to, dig and investigate everyone, right? But I think it's a good time of the year to listen more and talk to people more and try to, if you can sense something's wrong, maybe get them to, talk about it and let it out a little bit. Look, I got somebody I can spill my guts to right now, and it's good to let it out. That's what I was doing earlier today, right after the live from earlier. And so then, I was married a second time, and she had a daughter already. I never had any of my own. I don't think it was meant to be or whatever. I don't know. I just, I'm a believer in everything happens for a reason or doesn't happen for a reason. So the fact that I didn't have any of my own, I was like, no, I don't know. Maybe it's just not meant to be for whatever the reason it is. And it didn't even occur to me to find out what that reason was or try to make something happen. I only tried to make things happen in the normal course of things, right? So not even by accident did it ever happen, like high school and stuff like that. It just didn't, not that I got around a lot or anything, but, accidents happen and this and that. And I didn't. That's why I figured, well, it's just not meant to be for me for whatever the reason. And so then the stepdaughter and love her to death. And I would spoil her every chance I got. Came into my life when she was 8, like 7 or 8. And her brother too. He was 6.5 or 7. And she could do no wrong. If I tell this to other people, and I mean this, and maybe it's a fault, but if she needed my heart to live, I would give it right up. No problem. I would never want her to suffer through anything like that, or kidney or liver or lung or whatever. I'm like, I'll be like, take it, whatever you got to do. Just not even a thought. And then, there things got rocky and stuff like that. But yeah, I could say I probably loved her more than the mother. That's the way it was. And I remember, sometimes business was not good here and there. I worked for myself for a lot of my more recent years. And I remember having, only $30 in my pocket, like for the week. And we'd be at Target to get something, I don't know, Band-Aids or shampoo, whatever. And she would, she'd be like, oh, look, I want that sweater for school. And I'd take my last $30. I'm like, okay. And I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'll figure something out just to make her happy, buy her a sweater or the jeans or, whatever it was, or the gym shoes or the folder for school or the book for this or the whatever. I just felt that it was my obligation to do so. And, when I was growing up, my mom tried to do the best for me, spoil me with stuff that I didn't need. Wants, a lot of toys, right? That was my mom. And then my sister was always the one with certain things, but it was, going to school, studying, buying me the calculators, buying me the books, that kind of thing. I think I had two parents growing up. So, except for certain things, everything was, oops, everything was tried to provide it for me. So I felt like that's what I had to do. And I was like, well, if I got to go without for a little bit, that's the way it works. And I'll just figure it out and work harder or make more calls or, whatever I had to do. And I remember always questioning her, especially that she got older to become a teenager. And why are you doing this? And where are you going? Who are you going with? And what are you guys doing? Oh, yeah. Why not do this? Why do you got to do that? Why don't you do it this way? And it's a lot of questioning. So, fast forward years later, she finds her guy, the guy she's going to marry. He's a good guy. And I go to visit, I'm flying around with the airline, and I go to Dallas to visit them because they moved up there. And she picks me up. She's with him, and she picks me up at the airport. And I'm listening to them kind of argue. He's driving, and he's like, yeah, I got to take this way. I'm going to go this way. And then she starts questioning him. Well, why are you going that way? Well, why don't you do this and do that? And I heard myself in her. And it was this warm, fuzzy feeling, just thinking about how I was in the past with her. And I remember thinking, God, that's all me right there. And it gave me a warm fuzzy. It was so cool. It was a nice moment. And then spending those couple days there and listening to how she was with him and stuff, and thank God, that's a mini me. It's so awesome. That was nice. I like that. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed it. I can't remember if it was noticeable last year. Honestly, I can't remember where I was I was out of town with work last November. So last year, it was easier to hide it or deal with it because I was out of town. And I could, stay in my room and just cry all night or whatever and just not care what anybody thought. And nobody knew. But, since now I'm in a different situation now. And I just realized it did hit me. But this time around, something else is going on in my life. And it's made that situation a little different. And I think I'm not 1,000% that God is up there, right? But if he is, or if it's the aliens that are in charge, or whatever, the king alien or whatever, I think people are put in your path for a reason, for some reason. And maybe you don't understand all the reasons right away. You may not understand them for years or whatever. But at some point, you realize, some things happen in your life for a reason. And so that situation has made it finally a little easier. Except today I did have a little bit of a breakdown. But when I do that, it's not like a bad, horrible, it's like I want to unalive myself. But it's just, it's like I don't even have a picture of her. It's like, I remember her face. Like, her face is right here. And I won't forget it. I won't ever. But it's like, I wish I had a photograph. this was before the craze of mobile phones and the camera phones and all that mess. The way things are right now, where everything's in your pocket, and so that's why there was no pic. And then I think there was a photograph, but that stayed over there in Puerto Rico somewhere. I don't know who has it. I tried asking about it before, but yeah, it's been now a number of years. So that's one regret. But that's why, what I posted last week about, tell your people, you got kids and everything, you tell your people you love them and you hug them all the time and do all that, because from one instant to another, they could be gone just like that. And then you will regret, things that you didn't do that perhaps you should have. And and I keep hearing about situations where families are going through a thing and they're just not together anymore. And then that one parent, whether it's the father or the mother, just doesn't come visit the kids or anything. Can they kind of use the kids as pawns, or the father doesn't come to visit the children, or so yeah, that bothers me. Because you got a bunch of people on this planet who want to have kids and can't for whatever reason. That they would die to have somebody, a kid, a child that they could, care for and be with every day and spend time with and love and stuff like that. So when you got somebody who's, perhaps they have so many, I don't know. I think it's sad. It's not the kid's fault. So anyway, that was just something I wanted to get off my chest. It helps to get it out sometimes, right? And so yeah, it is the season for that seasonal depression or whatever they got going on. I have no idea what it could be. Got no idea what somebody's going through. But if you sense maybe somebody's having a rough time or something, just talk a little more. Most of the time, everybody's got somewhere to go, something to do. I don't got time for this. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. And just walk away. Well, you know what? This is the season to change that. This is the season where you should stick around and you should listen to people. Sometimes the best gift you can give is to just your time. And just listen to what people got to say. Maybe you can help, Maybe you can, sometimes just by listening and going back and forth and being a little sympathetic, and sometimes that's all people need. Sometimes that's all that people need. Just an ear. Just somebody to put their hand on their shoulder or something and say, hey, don't worry about it, man. Everything gets better. And keep talking, showing interest. I think now this is the right time of year. If you haven't done that all year long, or if you don't ever do it, that's what this season is about. So try to do that this year. Where you normally wouldn't talk to someone or wouldn't sit and spend a few minutes. It's just a little while. You're going to go visit for Thanksgiving dinner or spending a weekend for Thanksgiving, to visit family and stuff. And maybe there's somebody that you normally don't talk to or whatever. Or just try that, Try to be, what's the opposite of, don't be selfish. Just try and open up a little bit. Try to be there for, even if it's a stranger, who cares? People sometimes just need somebody to listen. and tell me, you know what? It's going to be all right, man. That's nothing. It's going to be all right. Sometimes people just need to hear it's going to be all right. Yeah. So when I was thinking about Pillow Talk, and I had my little episode earlier, and my my angel was like, talk about it, get it out. Maybe it'll help get it out. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to cry on, on camera or whatever. She's like, what does it matter? And I remember, I did let tears out when my friend Josh passed. Rest in peace, buddy. Yeah, I miss Josh. So I didn't want to break down on the air live like this. So I pretty much got it out of my system earlier, but I don't know. It just felt like maybe because some people could tell something was up, but after a couple of years, they could tell something was up, but they didn't. And I was say, just a holiday. I get like this during a holiday. That was my thing. Man, I just get like this during a holiday. Don't worry about it. Compassion. Yes, have compassion. You know what? Maybe you can't buy gifts for everyone, but some gifts can't be purchased. Some gifts are your time. Just be an ear for somebody and hang out with them for a while. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do. Make somebody laugh. Make somebody feel like you care about them, or their life is important. Then ultimately it makes you feel good too to help somebody out. So yes, do that this year. Spend some time with someone that you otherwise may not. And just talk about whatever they got to say. Maybe they got something they need to get out, And if they let it out and they break down, let them. Tell them it's okay. You tell them it's all right. You don't have to apologize, or you don't have to apologize to you, or nothing like that. So, do I feel better because it came out? Yeah, I do. Sometimes that's what it takes. And I suggest to all of you that you try that this year. It might be the best gift that you can give to somebody who you may not know that's what they needed. So, count your blessings. Be grateful for what you have. Don't what do you call that? Cranky dude? The holiday cranky dude? Can't remember. Don't be a Scrooge. Bitching about the things that you don't have. Instead, put that aside, man, and just focus on what's in front of you. Because that could be gone just like that. All it took was a speeding car. She was no higher than the car. She was in between the cars. He couldn't see her. He was speeding. But I couldn't blame him. And just like that, man, from one moment, just like that, in an instant, it's all over. So, anyway, that's what I got. And I might, go to bed, turn on TV, and let out some more. But Other things have happened in my life lately where it's that I don't understand, and I'm not even trying to understand it. I'm just going with the flow, which is what I like to do. Go with the flow. I'll never forget. I think it was geometry. I had a problem with that kind of hard math. Algebra, geometry, trig. It was not for me. And I remember my summer school. I had to take it in summer school because I failed it. And she said, don't try to figure it out. Just learn how to do it, but don't try to understand it. Just learn how to do it. And I applied that to life. It's like, don't try to understand it, because then you'll be questioning everything 24 hours a day. Just go with it. Go with the flow. If something feels right, go with it. If it doesn't, don't. That's why I like this one rule of Dr. Jordan Peterson. And I keep going back to these, and I leave these. These are called banners right here, and I leave them all, the ones that I did from that one Saturday last month. I keep them. Instead of deleting everything, I clear everything out usually. But I've been leaving these up here. These are important things too, I think, that are important that people should live by. And that's why I made some changes to how the people I deal with, or the people I interact with. Don't go along with things you don't agree with. Don't go along with things you don't agree with. Make a turn. If you don't mean something, don't say it. Don't say what you don't mean. If you don't mean something, don't say it. Mainly the I love you word. Don't throw that, or people throw it. I've talked about this before. That word gets thrown around so much, too much. Just too many people, even people you don't know, strangers, oh my God, I love you. Like, I think it's losing its impact. But if you don't mean it, don't say it. This was one of the rules. Tell us the truth. Or at the very least, don't lie. If you're not going to say anything good or real, then don't say anything at all. Don't say a lie. Don't say it. Look for something. Pursue what's meaningful. What means something. Something important in your life, or the environment, or I don't know. Even if it's the environment. You believe in climate change? Okay, God bless you. Reasonably, go deal with that if you want to. But something important. Find something that's important that you need to deal with. But always, see, I'm good at this. I'm good at, don't do as I do as I say. They say practice what you preach, right? Well, I preach it better than I practice it a lot of times. Put your house in perfect order before you go and start criticizing the world or telling everybody else how to live their life. Take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself first. And some people might tell you, look who's talking. Look at your situation. And they're right, probably, right? So try to get things in order in your life before you, even though you may have good suggestions, suggest them, but don't be a dictator trying to tell people how they should live their life. Unless yours is perfect, and I doubt it is. Because for what's going on for me, I've been blessed with a lot of people coming into my life as recently, all with a different purpose. So, and every time somebody does, that just makes me realize, yeah, I'm not perfect. I've needed help here, or I've needed help there, or this situation, and somebody was there for me, or that situation, and somebody was here for me. So, you can give life advice, but just don't try to take over somebody like what's best for them, especially if your crap is not right. But I've been around a few years, so there's a lot that I do know, a lot of experiences. So it's a different situation. It's not just, oh, well, he don't have his shit together. Why are you going to tell me? Yeah, well, sometimes it's not about that. It's just more about, well, I've been through that experience before. And let me tell you a little about that. So just be careful how you talk to people. That's all. We live in a very sensitive world right now. Don't let the criticism of people get to you. Along the lines of what I was talking about, especially people who don't have their shit together and they want to criticize you. Yeah. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to people who have major issues. So, yeah, I know people say it all the time. Just be kind to one another. But this year, try to make it a point to listen more. Be there for somebody. You never know. You have no idea what people are thinking, especially during the holidays. People get depressed. They get depressed. So, listen. Just listen. I like to say listen louder, It just means, listen more. Don't blab so much, but sometimes just listen. Yeah, don't listen. Yeah. Certain people you don't want to listen to, that's for sure. Negative energy, negative human beings. They're walking this way, you walk this way. Keep it like that. Stay far apart. Trust me, your life will be better for it. Different, but better. We can all deal with less stress. You only want the good kind of stress, not a negative stress. Don't especially the online world. You watch stressful situations happen and you follow for such a long time that you feel responsible in some way, but then that's really stressing you out. And you can't help but be glued, every day watching what's going on. But we don't realize that it is stressing you out. Your blood pressure got a little higher in the last few months. Stressing out over things you know nothing about people you don't know, with situations that mean nothing to you. And you're stressing out about it. So, like what I talked about a couple of months ago, I guess already, just get negative stuff out of your life. This is a perfect time of the year to do that. Focus on what's important, your family. Yourself and your family. Focus on yourself and your family. Focus on yourself and your family. That's what you got to focus on. And you come across people, listen. Just listen. You got to listen. Learn to listen more. Talk less. Try that. Seriously, try it. Try it for November and for December. Try that. And maybe you can carry that through, for 2023. not a resolution. I hate doing that whole, oh, what do you resolution for this year? Like, yeah, no. It's more like, what are minor things you want to change about yourself or things you want to do differently? Don't call them a resolution. There's too much crap attached to the word resolution. I think it's become it's like a hallmark word. What are your New Year's resolutions? Yeah, ignore that word. Just enjoy the people around you. Those that care, you care back. And listen more. That's what I don't know. Maybe that's today's sermon. Listen more. Be aware of those around you more. Pay attention to what's right in front of you. Be grateful for what you got right in front of you. Whether it's family, friends, or situation you got coming up, whatever. Quit wishing for things that superficial. So it's nice to dream and you want this or you want that. I get it, but don't ever put that in front of friends and family, like people. Don't ever put that stuff in front of people. People come first. Abel, I saw your message. Yeah, definitely. Let's do this next week if you want. Tanya, yeah, I get that. Yeah, someone, passes away, that's like you said, your rock, right? You have to, sometimes you don't know who it is, but somebody steps up and becomes the matriarch or the patriarch or like the leader of the family or the new foundation, the person steps up. Somebody does. And it shouldn't be for power or anything like that. It's just somebody that is, the strong emotional person should. There has to be someone like that. At least I believe so. There's got to be someone like that. It doesn't matter if it's male or female, matriarch, patriarch. And if you can be that person, then be that person. Somebody has to be strong. Somebody, and if it's someone that you least expect, well, then it's let them do it. Let them, as long as they're being sincere about it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just because he's 20 something, it doesn't mean he can't be as impactful if it was somebody who's 50, 60 years old. More important is to be strong. You got to be strong. Do what's impactful, right? You got to be strong. Somebody passes away, somebody's sick, unexpectedly, then somebody's got to step up, handle the paperwork, handle the doctors, handle the appointments. You just got to do it. It's not a question of, I don't got time. Nope, that's too bad. Somebody's got to step up and you got to do it. And yeah, it'll be okay. It has to happen. You just have to do it. There are some things you can't just handle. I don't want to do that. Let so-and-so handle that. I'm like, not a good attitude. You just step up and do it. Step up and do it. Just take over. So anyway, it's time to ramble a little bit. More of these to come, by the way. More of these to come. No, thank you all for listening. I just needed to get that off my chest. And yeah. And for those who are going to be, if you yourself have some kind of depression issue or something because of holidays, you know what? I said this before. We had a show last year where somebody opened up and said they were dealing with depression. And I want this to be a place, no matter what we're talking about, whether we're talking about VT or we're talking about anal, whatever we're talking about, this should be come here and talk to your people, talk to the people in the chat. And if you feel a certain way, say something. I like to think all you people, everyone that I have that follows, that watches regularly, I believe everyone to be good people. I mean, what we say with certain people we watch and do things, that's different. I think genuinely everybody here is good people. So I would like to think if somebody is having an issue, say something in the comments, man. And I want everybody to gather and just, support each other, right? And if we got to talk about your thing and you want to talk about it public, you want to get it out, you get in touch and we'll talk about it. You want to get it off your chest and do a live, you got something happening, maybe that has to happen. Or just hopefully a lot of you guys have become friends, or you're talking more and this and that. People in the chat room, in the chat, in the comments of this, talk to each other. You can help each other out, that's for sure. There's a lot of people with a lot of different kind of experiences. And there's a plethora of knowledge and information. You put it all together. There's a lot of brain power there and emotion too. So, yep. All right, guys. They want to go and veg in front of the TV till I fall asleep. Yeah, you're welcome, Lucy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being, vulnerable. Being weak is different. That's not good. Being vulnerable is okay. But, being weak really isn't a good trait. So if you can do something to, strengthen each other, that's what you got to do. And a lot of it has to do with the term snowflakes and people with thin skin, and people get butt hurt by the easiest, simplest thing. That's a problem. Those are weak people. That is a weak person. In this world, in this day and age, you need leaders. And leaders don't get butt hurt. Leaders don't get, they've got thick skin. They don't let things bother them. Be a leader, a real leader. Not weak. Vulnerable is okay. It's okay to have emotion and get it out. And if you can step up to take over, to help somewhere in your family, then you do it. You need to think about it. Just do it. It'll feel good to you. It'll feel good to other people who really maybe can't hang around or can't help out in the way they want to. So if you can, do it. Life has a way of giving back to you in the future. Don't do it for that reason. Don't give because you expect to get something back. That's not the way to do it. Give of yourself just to give. Not because, I'll get paid back at some point. Somebody will pay me back, or, God will pay me back. No. You do from your heart, period. If you can do it, you do. If you can't, then you can't. But if you do, don't expect anything back. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Like the movie said, and I wrote this on somebody else's page right now, Victor. The movie, if you know who, well, the movie title isn't what I'm about to say, but always do the right thing. Always do the right thing. And by the way, that's a great movie. All right, everyone. That's enough for me. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Yeah, that was fun watching some vintage VT. We'll see what else I can dig up tomorrow. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for listening. And yeah, life goes on. It's what you make of it, right? So let's make the best out of it. All right, everyone. I'm tapped. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Have a good night.